Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. Today, we are going to make something that most people are probably aware of, but I don't know, maybe if you grew up in the city, you might not be aware of it. And maybe some of our younger viewers might not know much about it because food has changed so much as far as what we eat over the years that young people just don't eat the things that we used to growing up. But today, I am going to show you how to make a batch of Great Northern beans and ham. And we're going to do it in the Instant Pot. It's not going to take very long. And y'all, it's going to be delicious. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to follow along and make yourself some Great Northern beans and ham in your Instant Pot. For this video, I'm using a 16-ounce package of Great Northern beans, dry. You can use any type of beans that you want. They can be Great Northern, they can be Pento, whatever you want to use is entirely up to you. I like a lot of meat in mine, so I'm going to use about a pound of diced ham, and I'm going to cut up an onion. We're going to use salt and pepper. We're going to use water, and that's all we're going to need. First things first, let's get our onion chopped up here. Cut the ends of this off. Peel away the yuck. I'm just going to shove this off to the side for now. We're going to cut this onion like that. And now we will begin to chop our onion. Whoops. I always try to hold it together because if you hold it together, you can get it chopped up really fine. Sometimes I'll pull out the chopper if I'm doing a lot, but just for this, it's really not worth it. So when I was growing up, beans were something that we had on a pretty regular basis as part of a meal, or sometimes the beans would just be a meal on their own without anything else. Now I know my grandma Jackson, when she would make beans, oftentimes she would also make up a batch of homemade dumplings, and she would put them in the beans as well. I'm not going to do that. We're going to have cornbread with these, which I will be showing you how to make in another video coming up real soon. So please don't miss that if you want to know how to make some easy cornbread the way my grandma Helen always made cornbread. I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with it. Did y'all grow up eating beans? Do you have any memories of that? You know, now you can cheat. You can go out to the store and you can actually buy beans in a jar, the Great Northern beans, the Pento beans, and basically you just heat them up. And that's all you have to do, and they're ready to go. One that is familiar at all with cooking beans, like on the stove or whatever, knows that the general method that people use is they'll soak the beans overnight and all that kind of stuff. But when you do them in the Instant Pot, you don't have to do that. Now, when I think back to my grandmother cooking beans, I honestly don't think she ever soaked them either. She just kind of cooked them kind of hard, and they got done within a few hours. And they had pressure cookers back then, but I don't ever remember her using one. So anyway, I've opened these beans. I've dumped them into my strainer just to make sure there's no rocks or anything, which I've never found anything like that in my beans. But I went ahead and sorted through them anyway just to make sure. I rinsed them real well, and we're just going to go ahead and dump all of these into the Instant Pot. And now that we have those in there, I'm going to reach over here and I am going to grab my package of diced ham that I picked up at the store. Like I say, 8 ounces would be sufficient. And if you're using like ham bones or anything in your beans, you might not want to use quite as much, but I'm not using any ham bones. If you have a ham bone and you want to throw it in, by all means go for it. I don't have that, so I'm just going to dump this diced ham in here. And if your ham is not diced and you want to cut it up yourself, by all means, go for it. Make them your own. These are your beans, folks. You can do whatever you want with them. The only thing I will say is don't eat too many, especially if your partner's eating them too. You might dream that you're on the space shuttle heading up to space once all that gas kicks in. All right, now I have the onion that I chopped up, and I'm going to very carefully bring that over. I love these little chopping mats. We picked these up at Ollie's Bargain Outlet, I believe is where we got them. You can buy them pretty much anywhere, but as far as cutting things up, they make it so easy. And I'm able to pick it up so easy and just scrape on my onion directly in on top of these beans. These are going to be so good, y'all. If you live close, I would definitely offer you a bowl. If you live close, come on over and I'll give you a bowl. I'm not greedy. I'll share with anyone. All right, we got that onion in there for the most part. And what we need to do now, I'm just going to take and kind of shake this all around. You know what? Let's just get our hands dirty. I'm going to put my hands in here. There's nothing in here that'll hurt us. We have hands for a reason, and mine are clean. So I'm just going to kind of mix all this stuff up. And I'm going to take this pot and I'm going to go over to the sink. And I'm going to add water, just about 2 inches or so above these beans. And I'm going to wash my hands. So, putting in some water. Let's see. Yes, indeedy. Because these will expand, folks. All right, let's see if this is going to be enough. I'm going to give them just a smidge more just to be safe. All right, so here's what I've got. Now, another thing I want to mention about beans. If you're concerned about seasoning, beans are one of those things that you can season after they cook, and they're just fine. They hold the salt really well, so if you're not comfortable with putting a lot of seasoning in before you start, that's absolutely fine. Add in some of this Himalayan pink salt, which I absolutely love. That's enough. If we need more, we'll add it afterwards. Let's put in some black pepper. Again, not a ton, because we can always add more later. I have my Instant Pot here, the base of it. We're going to put these down in. We're going to put the lid on and lock it. And we're going to set this on high pressure for 1 hour. And then we're going to do a 15-minute slow release, meaning we're going to leave the valve in place. And then we're going to turn off the warming plate and everything and do a rapid release to get the rest out of there, the rest of the steam out. And these will be done. So I'll see you in just over an hour. All right, folks, it's sat for the appropriate amount of time. It's been doing a slow release for about 15 minutes. And now I'm just going to flip the valve and allow the rest of the steam to escape. And I'm sure you can hear that. I got me a pot holder laid out here so that I can bring the pot of beans over and set it down so you can see them. Jen even says they smell good. So if Jen says they smell good, they must really smell good. So these are actually going to be dinner tomorrow night, but I decided to go ahead and make them tonight. And now we got to see, will Jen actually eat beans with me? I don't know. I'm going to make up a batch of cornbread to go with them tomorrow. And we'll just see what happens. And as you can tell, these Instant Pots or any type of pressure cooker, boy, they can get a lot of buildup in them. And this definitely has. But it's almost done releasing now, and we will check these and see how they came out. Right, the pressure is released, folks. I'm putting on my mitts so I can pick this up because it's going to be hot. I'm going to go ahead and remove the lid from the Instant Pot. And let's pick this baby up and carry it over here and have a look at these beans. Now, y'all, I'll be honest with you. I have never made beans in the Instant Pot before. This is my first time. So I think they'll come out fine though. It makes sense. Everything that I have read about it makes perfect sense. I'm going to grab a spoon. Oh my goodness, these absolutely feel amazing. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to come right back and we're going to take a bite of these. All right, folks, let's take a bite of these beans. Absolutely delicious. You got to try making you some beans and ham in your Instant Pot, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe.